Welcome to the bold analysis. Mike Mbovi Sonko is telling Rigathi Gachagua that he should go slow on demanding his political rights in the court corridors until 2027 because there is a clause in the Constitution that says that you are allowed to vie until all the appeals are exhausted. So according to Mike Sonko, if by 2027 Rigathi Gachagua shall have not exhausted appeals in all the courts, then he will be able to seek an elective seat. That begs the question: should Rigathi Gachagua be on ballot in 2027? My answer is yes, directly or indirectly. But in this podcast,
amekaa na majirani wake vizuri sana. Watu msherekea utadhani yeye ni politician. Na nakumbuka wakati nilifurushwa hapa Nairobi na former president na siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya, niliambiwa wewe enda Mombasa, Nairobi hatukutaki. So nikajaribu siasa yangu Mombasa, nikaona inaingiana. Huyu Lucy huyu mnamwona amelala hapa, Mwenyezi Mungu wake roho yake malipema peponi, alinimobilizia wananchi wa Likoni, majirani zake, crowd kubwa sana, akawa anajaribu kuniombea kura. Lakini sababu ya siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya, kuregeshana chini, nilipokuwa cleared na 3 bench Mombasa nisimame kama governor, then kesho yake mbio Supreme Court akasema hapana, tunataka kusikiza kesi yako. Kesi ya mawakili zaidi ya 14 kushinda ile Rigathi. Wakasema itasikizwa na siku moja, judgment iandikwe na siku moja. By the time tunaitwa kotini, hata submissions zetu hatuja file. Rigathi alikuwa amefile zake, mimi sikuwa nimefile. Kaambiwa lazima tusikize. Kesho yake nikaambiwa Sonko nyumbani, haufai kufai. Mheshimiwa former deputy president, nimeona kiti ilikuwa imewekwa hapo, uonekane uko peke yako. Hauko peke yako, tuko pamoja. Umekuja kuendeleza na dada yetu. Wenye kuogopa, wacha waogope. Sisi hatutakukataa. Ulikuwa deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, vile ulikuwa former governor, vile watoto walikuwa former governor, tutaendelea kukupenda sababu ulifanyia nchi kazi. Lakini kwa sababu ya siasa mbaya, ulitolewa vile sisi tulitolewa. We feel you, former deputy president. Liwe liwalo, mwenye kuja kutoka kunilekelea makosa, awekelee. Sisi Mheshimiwa deputy president, we are fan of cases. Tumekaa jela sana tukahitimu. Na wacha nikufundisha sheria kidogo. Kwa sababu naambiwa hata ukishakuwa impeached hautavai. Hiyo ni uongo. Waititu watakuwa kwa ballot. Katiba ya Kenya article 103 sub article 3 utaruhusu further. Kwa ufupi nipatie Mheshimiwa Rigathi moral. 103 inasema any public officer ama state officer ukishakuwa convicted of any offense or any decision kama ile yako ya National Assembly na Senate, hiyo ni sub article 2, kwa uwezi shikilia ofisi. But ukienda chini 103 sub article 3 inasema you shall be on the ballot because you have to exhaust all avenues of appeals or review. Kesi yako iko High Court of Kenya, bado inaendelea kusikizwa. Wakikutupa nje, bado utaenda appeal, Court of Appeal. Hiyo ni miaka ingine 3. Wakikutupa nje, bado utaenda Supreme Court. Hiyo ni miaka ingine 5. 2027 itakupata hapo. Kwa hivyo utakuwa kwa ballot, usidanganywe na mtu yote ule. Lakini usikimbie sana.
And I want us to look at the Sonko statement, and we'll just stemming from that look at 7 must-do things that Rigathi Gachagua can consider ahead of the 2027 general election. Mike Sonko is saying this. But there is something you've said in that statement that I want you to mark. He said that when he was vying for Nairobi gubernatorial seat, the Supreme Court was convened urgently. And a whole bench was convened very fast so that he could be stopped from vying for Nairobi, for Mombasa governor seat, even after laid down all the papers to campaign. So his political rights, just like those of Waititu, who was also impeached, have not been granted ever since they were impeached under the era of Uhuru Kenyatta. Rigathi Gachagua has been going charm offensive, plotting series of political events, and of course is been trying to defend the reaction of supporters throughout the impeachment process. In a statement, in a cryptic message that it says that William Ruto's handlers should not misinterpret the silence of the voters in Mount Kenya.
I want to tell our people, much as difficult things are economically, just work hard. Work hard and be honest. Some of us have gotten in a lot of trouble because of being truthful. But I want to tell you, even the Bible says, the truth shall set you free. So as I wind up, so that I introduce the leaders here, I want to tell the people of our region not to get worried. Many people are calling me, oh, what's going to happen? Please, don't worry. Our community is very unique, and many people are shocked. We expected people to go to the streets, lighting bonfires, destroying vehicles, shouting. No, that is not who we are. These people don't know us well. As when we feel offended, we feel bad, we keep quiet. Si ndio? Mtaendelea kunyamaza? Keep quiet. Say nothing. And if you feel so strongly you must express yourself, do it through song and dance. Si ndio? Nyimbo tu na kunyama? Kulio kaudu tuwe. Mukireki na mutikarie. Mwaigwa ndwaigwa ukuhiukerwo ukaina rwimbo. Wacoka ugekate? Ugakira. And that way itakuwa nzuri. The church must remain the conscience of the state, of the nation. Continue talking the truth. Continue telling the congregation the way things are. Hapa niko na viongozi, tuko na Deputy Governor wa Nyeri, Waroe Kenanire, mpigieni makofi. Tuko na baba yao, Ferdinand Waititu, the one and only. Tuko na Governor alikuwa Nairobi, Mike Buvi Sonko. Tuko na aliyekuwa mjumbe wa Dagoretti South, Bwana Dennis Wawero. Niko na nimetumwa na Rabirabi na kiongozi wetu Gathoni wa Mushomba. Wako bunge ameniambia wanaenda kungangana na hii maneno ya SHA na SHIF. Pia niko na Rabirabi ya senator wetu Karungo wa Dhangwa. So my brother, we are together. We wish you well. Pull yourself together. You are strong men. Teach these boys of yours to work with you so that the gap that Lucy has left they can fill. Stay united as a family. Continue doing the work of God. Continue being a true person. Endelea kukaa na sisi vizuri vile umekaa na sisi. Tunakupenda sana na tunakuheshimu sana. Na historia yako kutoka mtu ya kuosha magari mpaka kuwa muuzaji ya magari ile kali inatuvutia sisi sana. You are a role model to many of us because your story is a beautiful story, and this must be the story for the people of Kenya. Mumuko gaidania moinuka. Mumuko gaidania. Tuko pia na aliyekuwa governor wa Nairobi, Kanano, pigieni ye makofi. Nimuko gaidaniria. Ngai witu amurathime. Amweke wega. Murore magukumia. Amwaraberie mihaka.
I honestly believe so, that the silence of the voters can be misunderstood, that probably he's not popular. Because I know for sure, one of the things that the intelligence team gather and probably they feed the presidency is that he should not worry about the deputy president, the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, because he's not popular. There is one of MPs who even went on a TV show and said that in the next 3 years, Kenyans shall have forgotten about him. And in fact, Mountainers will forget about what has happened. And so William Ruto should not worry. I want us to look at these 7 must-do things that Rigathi Gachagua should ensure that it does ahead of the 2027 general election. But before we do that, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for being a supporter of this channel. We're just 10,000 subscribers shy of 100,000. We promised ourselves that by the end of this year, we should cross the year when we're already at 100. I believe it is possible. So let us work, let us push through and see where we can get. So kindly support this channel and subscribe and also share for those who can be able to share. I asked a question about whether Rigathi Gachagua should be on ballot. Before you even get to make such a decision, the things that Rigathi Gachagua must do and must also avoid before 2027 general election. The first factor is depending on judiciary to grant him political rights. If you look at the events of yesterday, when the Supreme Court was celebrating 12 years, the President of Supreme Court, Martha Koome, was very categorical that moving forward, the courts will try to restrain from political processes. And I am for sure that William Ruto's political will dealers will interpret that. They'll try to, when they find out that Rigathi is a threat to their political constituency, then the courts is the last line that they have. Unlike Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto has captured the judiciary. The judiciary has been captured under the arms of the executive. And while I agree with what the Constitution says, just like Mike Sonko is saying, but in this country, sometimes people don't follow what the Constitution says. They follow what can be able to serve their interests. If the candidature of Rigathi Gachagua is going to eat into the constituency that William Ruto is targeting for 2027, then I have no doubt that the deep state will use every corner of the judiciary to ensure that Rigathi Gachagua is not on ballot. And that is why I said, even as he still ponders about direct candidature, he can still be on that ballot indirectly by supporting another candidate. Being that probably after then, there would be some constitutional review, and or rather there will be change on guard, and he will be heard afresh. The judiciary have bought the narrative that impeachment is a political process, but those who say it's a political process don't also complete. It's a political process with legal implications on political careers. Number two, Rigathi must not confine himself to Mount Kenya. Because this is, I listened to Moses Kuria. I want us to get the soundbite of Moses Kuria here. Moses Kuria was in Mount Kenya. And he said that lazima hesabu waingiani. And he's been going, he continues to say that Mount Kenya numbers are not enough. And if Mount Kenya are going to push themselves in a corner and isolate themselves, then they will not be the national cake. I am saying he should not confine himself, because remotely, one of the scheme of the sibling brothers is an isolation card of 41 versus 1. Just like if you want to become the president, you cannot get it through one region. You need to come out. This is the time for Rigathi to attend events in Nyanza. Yes, he can. There's no problem. This is the time to go western. This is the time to go to that northeastern. Go everywhere. This is the time to move out so that he can shed off that Murima narrative. Because that Murima narrative that has been pasted on him and has been marketed well around him is very isolative in its nature. Number 3. Never again and not anymore should Rigathi plant trust allies around him. Because for every politician, remember now politicians are isolating from Rigathi, and even when he was in that burial, he was accompanied by politicians who are, by former politicians. We saw Kabogo, we saw Millicent Omanga, and a host of other politicians, but the elected leaders are not very comfortable sharing podium with Rigathi, probably because they will be branded as the ones that are rebelling against the president, even though they are also missing the opportunity to interact with Wanjiku. But if you look at the impeachment process, it was all created, laced by elements of moles around him. A story is told about the deputy president sleeping in a presidential suite in a Acacia Hotel in Kisumu and talking with a member of parliament, a famous member of parliament from Rift Valley, only for a recording to be done and be sent to State House, and is believed to be part of the fallout between Ruto and Rigathi. The other thing is Rigathi Gachagua must and should not shy away from assuming the position of the opposition. By virtue of him being kicked out of government, he can comfortably take up that position that Raila was supposed to take. Raila abandoned it for Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua, and they have not been so vibrant. And as an insider, it is the time to spill the beans. If the state will wage the fight against Rigathi, it is going to build the profile. And a shopping for Mount Kenya party is equally important so that you can build a constituency around you. The fellows that are negotiating with William Ruto on Kindiki and the others, they might not really have an anchor of bargain. And if there is a fight for join the struggle for social justice that has been abandoned by the group of leadership. And lastly, Rigathi must not entertain confrontation with Kindiki, but address Ruto directly. Should not be seen as selfishly against Kindiki, but fight the right man. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. I'm coming back with a story about the interior docket. Thank you. It's Penina Nyambura. This was huyu ndio shosh alikuwa peke yake, and let me just tell you how we provided solutions there. Huyu shamba alikuwa naisha alipewa, yes, they were given those allotment letters, but apparently nyumba alijengewa ilishanguka, so the grandchildren ndio walikuwa nyumba zao zilikuwa ziko hapo, so she was just using a makeshift structure. Now what would happen is when the grandchildren come, alisema she feels unsafe or she feels like anawafinyilia. Now she has to leave and go back to that kitchen, which is now the house yenye alikuwa amejengewa. So this house we built for Nyambura, she will use it alone, peke yake, and she was very happy. And may God bless you. Now, that is Penina Nyambura. This house, this other one is Alice Kamande. But then apparently Alice akona watoto 6, she told us. Kuna watoto 6. Some, there is only one, yule mwenye mwana pale, tulikuwa na yeye. I think I showed her in the video. But the others awako there, and what she could not directly say, but we also gathered kwamba alcohol in the illicit brew, it's a big problem. So she's also gotten that place. Malikuwa nalala ni kwa nyumba kingine kadogo ya mbao, and it was also destroyed. So she's got another one, and then the last one is Mzee Njuguna Munyu, yeah, Njuguna Munyu. This one here, yeye pia anaishi peke yake actually in that home. Yes, anaishi peke yake, and he was telling me yeye ndiye alikuwa ananiambia hana choo. Yeah, so I tried telling some people there, nimeona huko wameweka stima, at least the local community sasa wale ambao the MCA there are trying to get contact, awajenge mzee show, ajenge mzee choo, yeah, na pia ikewe maji so that mzee apate usaidizi. But if one of you will be willing, I can be able to directly link you so that mnaweza jengea mzee choo. Yeah, hiyo ndio shida pekee sasa yanabaki nayo. But of the house, he's gotten a house, and thank you, we've made an impact. That for sure, guys, I can tell you, we've really made good impact. If you want to partner with Granny Care in future, then Manda is there. And I want to tell you, Granny Care is the symbolic, the flagship project of the Bold Network. God willing, we are going to register it to a full foundation. We are in that process. But Granny Care is our project now. So this is a project that will move across different counties. We've done Kilifi, we've been to Kisumu, now we're in Nyandarua. We will go somewhere else. But if you want to partner with us and know more about, contact us and you can continue supporting. Hata kama unataka kujenga ingine ya Kilifi uliona, you can still reach out, you can still link and build another one if you want to support someone else. And now that is the program.